Hello everybody, my name's Shalise. Welcome out everybody to my Vikings Season 6, Episode 17, The Raft of Medusa. What happened in Vikings, everybody? Okay, this was happened. King Harold and Ivar decide to set off to Wessex. They're on their way to Wessex right in this episode, nearly the beginning. They're just preparing. And during this episode, you get the fact that Harold is putting things in order. He's putting his affairs in order because he knows when he goes to Wessex that he ain't coming back. And Ingrid even asks him, she says, I don't think Ivar's plan to return. He's like, Harold's like, maybe. And she's like, are you planning? And he doesn't really answer. So, in my opinion, the setup for King Harold's death is coming soon. And it's being played beautifully well done. Like, each episode, they're kind of hinting that King Harold didn't want to rule. All too much, he doesn't really care for it. He regrets killing his brother. He misses his brother. He wishes his brother would see him, and he just wishes a lot of things are not the way they are. He wants to be a Viking, wants to be free in the air. And of course, one of the last things he says on the boat when he's sailing away with Vitzik and Ivar is, I never had any luck with women, which is just utterly fantastic. Also, King Harold leaves both Eric in charge and Ingrid. And he puts his affairs in order. He technically puts Eric in charge, but while Harold and Ivar and Vitzik go to Wessex, Eric decides to make himself king. The reason why he decides to make himself king is he says, I'm a kingmaker. I saved Bjorn's life, which he did. He saved Harold's life, which he did. And he makes him king. So now he's going to be king. And Ingrid will be his wife. And he says it will be exciting to do it with a witch. And he wanted her to whip him. Since he was her former slave master, he wants her to whip him as some sex thing that apparently that's his king, so whatever. But during this time, Ingrid decides to blind him. She's a witch, so she's gonna do her shit, and now she's Eric the Red for his time as king. For one episode, he's already freaking blind. She has blinded him, and now she's made him basically a cripple. Also, what happens after that stuff, let me go in a little bit to Ube. Ube and his company are just down to the luck. More people are dying. They're running out of water. Ube and Othair are still looking at each other with this look that they might kill each other, they might not. And they just had that real animosity between them. And right now, it's just like, what's going to happen? And at the end of the day, they found the Golden Land. And Ube and Othair, both their fates kind of shaken, but they're still restored. And they found the Golden Land together. And now they're going to explore this new land. So Ube and Othair find the Golden Land, which is basically North America, or almost not really Canada, or I met upper Northern Hemisphere with Canada and North America, somewhere around there. But Ube and Othair found the Golden Land. Another thing, back then in now Wessex, Ivar and Vitzik have now gone over into the rivers of England and all this stuff. They're letting their presence known. They're having their Vikings with King Harold just burn everything down to the ground, picking the place of the choosing of the battle that they want. And this is really a setup episode for Ivar and King Harold and Vitzik to take control over King Alfred. King Alfred decides to abandon the capital to make it seem like he's weak and he's running away from the Vikings, which he is weak, but he also will put them underestimate him. And Alfred, even though he bans the capital, Ellsworth is just tired of always running from Vikings. She's tired of Vikings always surrendering. And when even in defeat they win, as she says. Because when the Vikings, when they surrender to Alfred or anything, they just swear on the cross and they don't really, truly convert. They just come back, and again they make deals, they make promises. No matter how many hostages are killed, no matter how many peace things you do, it's still going to always lead to the same thing, that they're always going to return, they're always going to have this conflict, and you're always going to spare them. And this is probably going to get to a boiling point where Alfred's basically not going to ask for quarter for the Vikings. He's going to give them a show no quarter whatsoever, and make something prove to them that you want peace, it's too late for peace. And Alfred's always been one to make peace, to have that. And Ellsworth says that you, my love, they know it's your weakness and they're using it against you, basically. So Alfred's having this trouble of appearing to be weak in front of his army and his men, but he's also appearing weak in front of his wife, even though he knows it's for a great strategy. As he says to her, it's just a building. Like the capital, the home, ancestral home, is just a building. And what survives is me and Wessex. Like, our religion, our faith, it relies on a person or on our people, not on a building. So I think that was very well done with Alfred and his conversations. I think this was a very solid episode. Not the best episode of the entire show, but overall a pretty standard good episode that's building up to future good episodes. So yeah, everybody, Vikings Season 6, Episode 17. What y'all think of the Raft of Medusa? You think it was a great episode? You think it was a terrible episode? Let me know what y'all think, everyone. And releasing. Alfred, everybody. Bye-bye.